So, y'all, today I gotta talk about a movie that pisses me off more and more every single time I rewatch this movie. 1997 movie, Soul Food. Now, I saw this movie when it first came out. I saw it with a buddy of mine in high school. I went with him and his mom to see it in a theater about 40 minutes away because my theater didn't get a lot of the black movies, to be honest with you. So we went out of town and seen this movie. Now, it didn't make me as mad when I first saw this movie. I mean, don't get me wrong, I still had my issues with it, but I mean, I tolerated it. I still bought the VHS and stuff like that. Actually, now I think of it, I think I might have got that VHS for free because I worked at a Blockbuster. And I think I just pretty much used like my employee discount and stuff like that. Well, so I guess I technically didn't get it free, but I got it very cheap. However, this movie now, every time I watch it, it just makes me madder and madder. And I don't know how. I watched it so many times, when it originally came out and did not get as upset. Maybe it's because I'm an adult now. So I'm going to talk about why I absolutely hate the movie Soul Food. And there is a particular subject in this movie that makes me hate the entire movie. And that subject is the characters in this movie are all over the damn place. And I don't think I've ever seen a movie where I've hated so many characters. I mean, there probably are other ones out there, but I mean, this one here, like, I gotta dig deep to find a likable character. And one of the likable characters that I pick is one that, originally when they were reviewing this movie, they were targeting this character as a villain, which I never saw this character as a villain. And I, now that I'm grown and keep rewatching the movie and stuff, I see this person as the victim. So I'm not really going to review this movie because, as I already stated, I don't like this movie. Not anymore. And I don't think I liked it that much even when I saw it the first time. I didn't hate it. I tolerated it, but I just don't like this film now. But now that I have explained why I don't like this movie and gone into the topic of characters, why don't we go ahead and talk about each character and just why I don't care to watch this movie anymore because it just makes me angry. So let's go ahead and start talking about the characters in this movie. Now, I don't necessarily know if I can say I hate the character of Ahmad, but I'm going to say this. This character annoys the hell out of me because I had a cousin like this that just acted like they were little Mr. Perfect. And this is exactly how I see the character of Ahmad. I mean, he knows way too much already. He knows like the family's business. He knows like all the crap with his parents. I don't know how he knows all this stuff. Big Mama is like, this is like the only kid she really talks to in this movie. He's got a little sister, but of course Big Mama doesn't mention her like hardly at all. I mean, I guess to a point Ahmad means well. He is the one trying to get the family together for Sunday dinner when they're all beefing and stuff like that. So this kid has good intentions. But in my opinion, he just comes off as annoying as hell. And you'd almost have to watch this movie to really understand what I'm talking about. He's got some good intentions, but he annoys me. So I'm not going to say I hate him, but I also don't like him. Moving on to good old Maxine. Bitter as hell Maxine. Bitter as hell towards Terry's success is what I should say. She's bitter, yet still has the damn nerve to contribute absolutely nothing throughout this entire movie. She's trying to make the family decisions, yet contributing zero funds toward any of it. Starts drama with Terry all the time, pretty much throughout the entire runtime of this movie. Working my nerves the whole time. Never shuts up. This bitch even had the nerve to steal Terry's boyfriend when they were younger. Oh, I forgot to add. She actually ends up marrying this guy too. So imagine that. Terry's got to deal with that situation. Do I really need to say any more? Or do I just need to mention this one more time? I hate this bitch. Now we move on to good old Kenny, Maxine's husband, also known as the ex-boyfriend of Terry that Maxine stole from her. Yeah, that guy. So Kenny ends up falling for Maxine while he's on a date with Terry at a skating rink. So Maxine is sitting there talking crap about, oh, y'all need to learn how to skate, this and that. And then Kenny is just like eye humping her the whole time. And Maxine literally falls for Kenny because she falls down. He goes over, helps him up. Oh, they play this little sweet little music and they fall in love. Makes me sick to my stomach. It's like, motherfucker, you already got your woman there. And you sitting there falling for the sister. Now, how he didn't end up meeting the sister like before this, I don't know. Maybe him and Terry weren't dating that long at this point. But who knows? Oh, and to make matters worse, Kenny gets caught smashing Maxine. Terry catches them both in a car. And that's like why they fight all the time now. Mind you, this family has Sunday dinner every Sunday. So Terry's got to deal with seeing these two together on a weekly basis. Yeah, that right there is a family situation I would not want to be in. I would not be having it. Now, one thing I will say about Kenny is he does try to help the character of Lem, like as far as like finding a job. And I think he even gives some money to Lem when he says they lost his job. But, you know, if he can give money to Lem, why was he not putting in any money toward like Big Mama's medical bills or any of the other stuff? You know, it's like, fool, you obviously got money. You got 3 damn kids. You got money. Stop putting everything off on Terry, especially after how you did her. Oh, in case y'all haven't noticed, I don't like this punk either. Now let's move on to Bird. Bird is Terry and Maxine's sister. Now, I don't know if she's the youngest sister or not. I don't even think they say. I'm just going to assume she's the youngest one. But Bird is very immature. Now, I kind of wonder if her and Lem ever really even loved each other in this movie. Because both of them got some damn problems. They both do questionable shit while they're married. And they even both do questionable shit at their wedding. She even agrees to go to dinner with her ex if he gets her current husband Lem a job. Bird owns her own little hair salon, which was also paid for by Terry. Terry does say that it's just a loan, however, but I mean, regardless, Terry put all the money down. And I highly doubt Bird was paying her back. Because, you know, this family just has a habit of using Terry. So, like, I find Bird's character annoying as hell. Just like super annoying. Throughout this whole movie. Now, there is a point in this movie where she does offer to help Lem out herself before she goes to this little ex-boyfriend of hers. But Lem rejects the help in that situation. I mean, yeah, y'all. I mean, as you can tell, every character I've mentioned so far already, I don't like any of them. I don't like Bird either. Now we got to move on to Lem, Bird's husband. This fool is seen grinding with his ex-girlfriend on the dance floor at his own wedding. Now, you remember when I was talking about questionable shit that both of them were doing at their wedding? Well, Bird was letting the ex-boyfriend stick money like into her dress and stuff like that. That was what she was doing. Aside from going to that guy for a favor to get her husband a job. But yeah, I think Lem might have it. I don't know which one of these two has it worse, but I mean, Lim is even out on the dance floor with a bottle of wine or something, just getting drunk off his ass while his ex is grinding all over him. I mean, she putting that ass all on this man, pretty much dry humping his ass. And he's all about it on his wedding night. I don't think these two should have got married at all. And I thought this when I first seen this movie even. I thought, yeah, this is what you call a marriage? I mean, this is insane. And I believe there's also a point in this movie where he gives Bird's cousin Faith the eye as she passes. And I'm going to get to the character of Faith here a little bit later. Now, this is a guy who, I'm just going to assume he had a job like at the time of his wedding and stuff like that, which I'm kind of thinking, fool, why ain't you paying for some of this wedding? Why the fuck is Terry paying for this wedding? Because there's a point in the movie where he goes to Kenny's house and says, you know, he lost his job, stuff like that. So I'm thinking, you know, this happened, the wedding is at the beginning of the movie, so you obviously had a job at the time. Why aren't you putting any money toward it, man? By the way, Lim and Bird are actually living with Big Mama when this movie kicks off. They don't have a house or none of that. They got married, you know. I personally would have been situated first. I would have, you know, been living alone with Bird and all that before I decided to get married. But whatever. I mean, there's also some situations where he's somewhat abusive to Bird. I mean, he doesn't actually like punch her. But there is a situation where like he shoves her up against the wall. Now, given Bird had no business going to that little ex of hers and asking him for the favor to help Lim, because this kind of backfires later, but I feel like I gotta talk about the character of Samuel to explain that. And also, Lim has been to jail several times, which is why he can't find work. He actually lost his job because he lied on his application and said he's never been convicted of a crime. This is why he's let go from the job that he had at the beginning. And he actually gets arrested another time as the movie goes on. But I mean, and this time it was kind of self-defense, but still, you know. And also, this dude carries a gun. This dude carries a gun. He don't know how to stay out of trouble. But I mean, I guess I'm gonna kind of say this guy's a villain too. I get it. He's trying to better himself, but he's not doing a very good job. So I have to say, I'm not a fan of the character of Lim either. In fact, the actor Mekhi Phifer, I don't like most of the characters that he plays. There have been a couple of roles, but for the most part, I don't like the characters that this guy plays at all. So I guess we're going to have to move on. Samuel is Bird's ex-boyfriend, who also shows up at Bird's wedding and puts money in her dress. Now, he does help Bird's husband get a job, as I said before. This is as a favor to Bird, since he still has a thing for Bird. He's still trying to get a piece of that. This actor always plays a dickhead. Always. He's even in another movie with the actor who plays Lim. Now, he gets beat up by Lim at Lim's job because he goes to pay Lim a visit and basically lets him know, you know, I helped you out, brother. I know your wife. And he starts making like sexual comments about Lim's wife, Bird. So that's why Lim breaks off and whoops his ass. So all in all, he had it coming. Miles is Terry's husband. And at first, he seems like a decent person. Successful lawyer, just like Terry. But he has like bigger dreams of making music. His wife, Terry, doesn't really support his music dreams. So I kind of get, you know, I kind of understand the dude's feelings in this movie. However, his act of betrayal is why I give this dude the middle finger. His act of betrayal toward his wife, Terry, is why I hate this guy. Because he has sex with Terry's cousin, Faith. And he gets caught by Terry while she has Ahmad with her. Now, luckily, Ahmad doesn't see this because Terry runs off with Ahmad right away. This automatically makes Miles a character that I can't stand. Oh, good old cousin Faith. I don't know who the hell gave her this name. Ahmad even says it right at the very beginning when she shows up. Cousin Faith is trouble. But in my words, a complete bitch who claims she's changed her ways. Now, Terry even lets Faith stay at her place since nobody else in the family is willing to do that. I don't know why she just didn't stay at Big Mama's house. Probably because Bird was afraid she was going to take Lim from her. I don't know. Once again, it's Terry bailing everybody out of trouble. So take a guess how Cousin Faith repays Terry, y'all. By sleeping with her husband. On that note, I got to go get my bitch be gone spray. Now we get to Terry, and I'm just going to start this off by saying justice for Terry. She is not the villain of this film, even though they try to make her out to be. She's the victim, in my opinion. Pretty much the whole family uses her and treats her like absolute shit. Terry always bails the family out of financial troubles, and they never seem to respect it. They never seem to appreciate it. Terry's also got to deal with Kenny's punk ass every Sunday and her stuck-up sister, Maxine. I mean, Kenny married her sister, and she dated Kenny. I said it before, but I can't get over that. There's a point in this movie where Terry suggests that the family put up Big Mama's house in order to pay Big Mama's bills. But of course, the family is against this. And they attempt to block it. But guess what? I'm on Terry's side in this case. It ain't always Terry's responsibility to bail everybody out. She says in this movie, as far as this family is concerned, I'm an ATM, automatically Terry's money. And guess what? That's exactly how this all plays out. Is Terry perfect? Absolutely not. I do think she should have been a better support to like her husband as far as the music dreams and also kind of telling him what to do with his money and stuff like that. I didn't agree with that. But all in all, I think Terry is the superstar of this family. Bails them out of trouble. Seems to be really smart, stuff like that. And the family just does not appreciate it. So as you can tell so far, this is the only character in this movie that I actually like. Big Mama, the real villain of this film, in my opinion. Now, I knew within the first 5 minutes that I was not going to be a fan of this character. You know why? Because there's a scene in the opening of this movie where she calls Ahmad over to do something for her, and she says, "Now who's Big Mama's favorite grandbaby?" I cannot stand family favoritism. I absolutely hate it. She's got other grandchildren. And lets this cat know, oh, you're my favorite grandbaby. I don't like stuff like that. So I already knew she was not going to be a likable character. I knew it like right when I started watching this movie. Now, Big Mama is a suffering diabetic, but refuses to take her insulin for some reason. Claims there's something that will cure it. I guess some kind of food or herb or something, I don't know. But so she's refusing to take it. Now look, I know diabetes ain't easy to live with. But take your damn insulin. Take your meds. Do what you're supposed to do. And it seems like she's okay with all the disrespect directed toward Terry in this movie, too. I don't think I ever remember her coming to Terry's aid. I think I remember her stopping Terry and Maxine from arguing and just saying, oh, y'all do this every Sunday. But, you know, it's not like she was really defending anybody. And she even jokes in this movie about Terry being married a second time, which Maxine just laughs about, too. Big Mama and Maxine laugh about this together. I mean, what kind of mom is that? And what's really messed up is, you know, this whole time when they're trying to figure out, you know, bills and who's paying this, who's paying that. And they, you know, they even say throughout the movie that Terry, like, even helps out, like, Big Mama with money and stuff. But this whole time, you find out Big Mama has a stash of money. You find this out at the end of the film. So it's like, why are you putting all this on the daughter? You the mom. You supposed to be doing better than this. But you're not. And something else that grinds my gears in this movie. When she's making Sunday dinner, she is okay with Lemon and Bird having sex in her house. Y'all, who wrote this character? And they could have done a way better job of balancing this character out and making Big Mama likable, but they didn't. This is a mom. This is the mom of our three lead ladies, and this is probably the most unlikable character in this entire movie. I don't really remember how I felt about it when I first saw this movie, other than the fact that when she, like, right off the bat called Ahmad the favorite grandbaby, I knew I wasn't going to like her, but the more I rewatched this film, the more I cannot stand this character. I ended up not feeling sorry for her at all. And now that I've discussed all of the characters, I'm going to give a little wrap up here about why I don't care to watch this movie ever again. So guys, my final thoughts on the movie Soul Food. In case you haven't figured it out, I don't like this movie. Did I hate it when I first saw it? I don't think I hated it, but I can tell you right now that I'm a grown man and I've seen this movie several times, I have grown a certain kind of hatred for this film to where I don't care to watch this movie ever again. Especially not with family. The story that this movie is telling is something that I do not want to sit down and watch with family ever. This is everything I don't want in a family situation. I don't really see a lot of humor in this movie. There may be a couple of times I chuckled, but not enough for me to really go back and rewatch it. And, you know, the treatment of Terry, the disrespect, the favorites that they were playing throughout this family, you know, the whole messing around with married people, all that stuff. But then you want to sit there and talk about the importance of Sunday dinner and what it symbolizes and all that. No. You know what? If I was going to show up to this family every Sunday, it would be just to eat, because I have zero respect for this family. I would not be going as like a hangout, friendship, none of that. Because I don't really like anybody in this film, with the exception of Terry and, you know, the daughter, meaning Ahmad's sister that Big Mama never mentions, because she didn't do anything wrong. In fact, at the end of the movie, when there's I forgot to mention the character of Uncle Pete, who never leaves his room, but does near the end of the film, and he drops a TV, and that's where the money is found. The little girl's the only smart one who runs over to the TV and just starts grabbing cash like crazy, while everybody else is letting a fan blow all the money in the air and they're catching it. I mean, I don't even know why some of the characters are even going after the money. You know, they should be paying Terry back is how I feel about it. But this is not a review. This is more of a rant. You know, a review is when I give my final thoughts on the movie as I'm done. But I pretty much told you guys right away that I don't like this movie. And I don't care to ever watch it. So my final thoughts on the movie Soul Food. When somebody mentions the movie Soul Food, you know what I'm going to say? I'm not hungry. So if you're looking for like a good family movie, if you feel the way that I do about stuff like this, I don't recommend this movie. I don't recommend this movie to anybody. And those are my final thoughts on the movie Soul Food. If you haven't seen it, I say skip it.